In the last video, we created the reset password form where the user can input a new password, click on the reset button, and it will be updated in the database. But now we just have only the form. There is no updates function attached to the form. That is what we're going to be doing in this video. So we go to our text editor. Now we already have the reset_pass.php file, which we've already called inside the reset_password.php file. So we'll go to our script, reset_pass. Then inside here we'll have the PHP script that will update the password. The first thing we need to do is we need to call the config folder which holds the db.php. So we'll say php include, then we go out of the folder into the config folder, then db.php. Then the next thing we need to do is add php open and close tags. Then we can add the global connection variable. Now, as we did in previous insert script, login script, we check if the post method for the form is set. So we'll say if is set, then post, it takes in the name of the submit button for the form. Then the post for the submit button or the reset button is called reset. The reset button is called reset. So we say reset, then every of our logic will be inside of this if statement. Now the first thing we need to do is we need to get the key, which is this key that we have here. We need to get it, and we can use the get superglobal to get this from the URL. So to do that, we create another if statement. So we can say if a variable called key, or rather we can first of all check if it's not empty. So if it's not empty, so if the key in the URL is not empty, so we get the key using the get superglobal. So we call it key, because if you check here, it is named key. So key equal to this value. You can call it whichever value. You can call it ID. You can call it activation key. But when you want to get it with the get request or the get superglobal, you must make sure that this is what we are getting. So we go back. So we say if it's not empty, that is the key in the URL. We set the key equal to what we have, which is the key from the URL. Else we set the key to empty. We set it to empty. So with this we have been able to get the key. So whenever we want to use the key, we just use this key value. But if we just want to write less code, instead of just writing all this, we could just use this directly. Wherever we are going to use this, we just use this $_get with the value key inside, without even writing all of these statements. So now the next thing is, if the key is not empty, key is not equal to empty, the first thing we need to do is, that is, if this key is not empty, or it's not equal to empty, we get the password from the form field. So we can get the password by, you can say pass_word, which is equal to _post. Then we take in the name of the password, which is password. So we're getting only the name of the password. Then another thing is we need to use the MySQL real escape string. So we can say pass equal to MySQLi_real underscore escape underscore string, passing the connection, and we passing the pass underscore word. After doing that, as we have been doing before, we need to get the password from the database, or no, not the password from the database. Recall that we have a round salt value, an encrypted value in the database, which is this round salt value. So what we want to do is we want to get this value the way we did while we were creating the sign up. So we get this value, then we use the crypt method to encrypt the password. So we create a PHP query. So we can say salt underscore query, which is equal to MySQLi underscore query connection, takes in the connection, then takes in the query statement. So we select round salt pass, which is what we call it from in the database, from sign up. So there's no where clause. We're not adding any where clause, because for every data that is inserted, the round sort pass values are all the same. So we're just getting one of it. Then the next thing we need to do is we need to fetch the data. We create a new variable row and we call it MySQLi underscore fetch underscore array. It will take in the salt underscore query. We need to change this instead of Q, use A, so salt underscore query. Now after doing this, the value that will be fetched, we set it equal to a salt variable. So say salt equal to row, then we get this value, which is the round salt pass. So here what we are doing is, after getting the password from the input field, we clean it with MySQLi real escape string. Then the next thing we need to do is we get the round salt pass, which is the encrypted password from the database, using this query. So select round salt pass from sign up. Then after doing that, we fetch the data. Now we are not using a while loop because we just have one round salt pass, which is similar for every new entry into the sign up table. So after fetching it, we set the value equal to the salt variable. Now after doing this, we use the crypt method. So create a new variable called password, then set it equal to the crypt, and the crypt method will take in the pass and this salt variable, just like the way we did it when we were creating the sign up. So with this, when the password is gotten, it will first be encrypted, and also it will be concatenated with this salt variable, because this salt variable that we added in the database is already encrypted. So when this variable is added to the database, it will be concatenated with this. So we have the password now encrypted. So when the user updates, the password will be encrypted as it enters into the database. Now we're going to stop here. In the next video, we'll continue and we'll write the update statement that will update the user's password.